Okay, so I'm just gonna go through the app a little bit. The listing feed is not working, so it's not really usable yet. But we'll get it set up so that as soon as they fix the listing feed, then you guys can start using it and you're already ready. So does everyone have the app on their phone? If you had the old app, it should have switched over to the new one by now.
I don't think I have it, Erin.
Okay, so if you go to the App Store, if you don't have it, or even if you do have it, you can check this way. If you type in KW, it pops up on mine. If I just type in KW, it's KW Buy and Sell Real Estate. So if you don't have it, make sure you download it now. So just let me know when you all have it downloaded and have it open.
For the login.
Okay, so for the login, you're going to have to create one because it's a consumer app. So you're logging in as a consumer.
Gotcha. Okay.
For those who are just signing in, we're just giving everyone a couple minutes to go to the App Store and download the app if they don't already have it. In the App Store, it's called KW Buy and Sell Real Estate. And once you download it, it's going to ask you to log in. You'll have to create a login because it's a consumer app, so you're logging in as a consumer. Does anybody already have it and have been playing with it a little bit? Guys are so talkative. Chris, so if you have the old app, if you search it in the App Store, it's probably going to update it. Funny that yours hasn't updated yet, but essentially like the old app isn't in the App Store anymore. So if you search in the App Store and download it, it should replace the old one. They were slowly rolling out the updates, so I guess not everyone's has happened yet. Does everybody have that and logged in?
All good over here, Erin.
The app is KW Buy and Sell Real Estate. Okay, so looking at the app, along the bottom, there's the menu, and the button furthest to the right says you, and it probably has your initials in a circle. Click on that, and if you do not see an option that says your agent and have yourself in there, make sure you do that. So it might say find agent. I'm not sure what it says when there's no agent there, but click that and then search for yourself. And then when you click on your profile, there's a button at the bottom that says Get in Touch. Click on that, and then it will say Claim New Agent. This designates your name as your new agent. Click Confirm. Everybody seeing that okay? Okay, I am going to assume that everyone is up with me since I'm not hearing anything otherwise. So the home, if you click on the search button on the app, it shows a map, and I know that the listings are very wrong. We are pressuring them to get it fixed. They just last week they hired somebody who used to work at Zillow, and he is his job is to work on listing feeds. So, and his first priority is Canada, since ours is the most broken. So hopefully that will be fixed sooner than later. So the main importance for today to get ready for the app to be ready for your consumers is the middle button at the bottom that says Guide. So this you can totally personalize and make it your own. And this is what's going to guide your buyers and sellers through the process, how you want to tell them to do it. So to edit those guides, when you log into Command, on the menu on the left here, you guys can see my screen, right? So it's the bottom button that says Consumer. If you click there, you should come to the page that I'm on now. And you're going to click on Guide Builder at the top. So when you do that, you'll see that you have two guides, buying and selling. So you're going to edit each one. So I highly suggest, if you have a buyer's guide or a seller's guide that you present to your clients now, dig that out and have it next to you, because you're essentially going to copy it. They're going to be very similar. So if you just click the pencil to the right of one of them, so I just did the buyer's guide just because it was first on the list. You're going to click on each section. When you click on it, it's going to open up on the right. And you're just going to change anything that you want changed. So if on the buying guide, if you don't want it to start with Start Your Search, that's fine. You can add something else. I personally think you probably want them to get pre-approved before they start their search. So you can drag the get pre-approved above Start Your Search so that they see that first. And then you can edit the text in each one. So you can change the title of it and then the subtitle for all of them. So now if I click on Start Your Search, I can change that. When they click on everything except for Get Pre-Approved, it opens a bigger description, which is this workspace text at the bottom. So again, just put in what you want it to be, what you want them to see, and the process you want them to go through. You can, if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the guide, there's an Add a Step button. So if there's more that you want, feel free to add them. Just keep in mind, when I was working on them, I made a mistake that I wish I didn't do. I was, instead of dragging them around, I would just change the name of the title. But then I realized the photos didn't really match what I was changing the title to. So make sure you drag them around if you like the photos that they've done and want to keep them. drag them around rather than changing the title so that the photo matches, because then I had to go find my own photos that matched. So if you add any steps, you will have to put a photo in. Does that make sense to everybody? Good. You guys are so quiet. So yeah, you're going to do that for both the buyer's guide and the seller's guide. So if I go back to guide, oh, it's telling me my internet is unstable. That's good. If I go back, I can then do the selling guide. I can also click on introduction and change anything that you want. So that's for the seller's guide and the buyer's guide as well. So you can change the introduction that they see at the start. So it's really simple to do, especially if you already have like buying and selling packages ready, because it's basically the same thing. So I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to switch to Alex's account because I have his app on my phone. So when I do things on the app, he can see it in my profile of his contacts in Command. So I'm logged into Alex's account, but in his contacts, I'm looking at my contact. And if you see this green check mark, that means I'm connected to his consumer products. So that means that I've created an account on his app with this email address. Does that make sense? So so I was playing around on it the other day. You can see that it's telling him over here on the right things that I have viewed. So when I was viewing listings, it's showing him. And so when I was on his app, I went into the guide and I checked off that I completed Start Your Search. I completed that step in his guide. So it's showing him that.
So Erin, once this gets like up and working for the listing side of things, do you think that as a whole, you would be sort of moving away from like Client Connect and Paragon?
Hopefully.
Okay.
Because it gives you much more insight. I mean, with Client Connect and Paragon and like collab centers, they can favorite them and stuff like that, which tells you. But hopefully they're just using it on the app, because then you can see everything that they're doing here in their profile. If they favorite a listing, Kelly gives you notification. I was just going to say something else. Now I forget what it was. Oh, so when this app is ready, when the listings are working, it's super easy. All you have to do is on the app, you go back to the U button, and there's a button that says share the KW app. And you click on it. You can text it, email it, post it on Facebook, do whatever you want. And it will the link that you're sharing is the link to your app. So they don't have to search for you like you just had to, because you're sharing it that way. So feel free to share it with people right now, but make it like close friends and family, because the listings are so messed up. They can still play around. They're just not going to get any accurate listings, just to get some feedback. On the U button, there's a button that says add a co-buyer. So if you're working with a couple, they can, so like one of them, so buyer one can have the app and then invite buyer two, and they can see everything that each other's doing, which is nice. Guys are so quiet. Do you have any questions?
I do, Erin. I missed up front and I thought I would figure it out again, but how do you get into the
Oh, where to edit the
pages?
guides?
Yes, yes.
So in command, you click the bottom button, which is consumer. You might have to zoom out to see that button. Sometimes it gets hidden if you're too zoomed in. And then you click on Guide Builder at the top. And then you just click the pencil next to the guide that you want to edit. So that'll take you some time to go through and make those guides what you want them to be, but it's super simple, just a little bit time consuming. If you guys don't have any questions, that's really all there is to show you. Just make sure you take the time to personalize it before you're ready to start sharing it with people, before the listings are ready.
Can you hear me, Erin?
Yeah.
Okay. So really, once this is up and running and all the listings and everything, then this is a great way to be communicating back and forth with your buyers.
Exactly.
Probably more specifically than your sellers.
Yeah.
To be able to engage them and see. So you can see on command what they're looking at. Like you can actually click on what they viewed. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll go back to Alex's. So he can click on the listing that I viewed and it will load it for him. Now there is like, obviously there's some improvements to be made. Like I saw someone ask if in the timeline within the contact, sorry, this is taking too long. I'm just gonna go back to show you what I'm talking about. Maybe. They wanted like a little snippet of information right in the timeline, like a picture and the price, because you know you are going to have those clients that end up clicking on $1 million listing just because they like to look at the pictures, but really they're not buying $1 million listing. Right. So then you don't have to waste your time clicking to see what listing they were viewing.
Okay.
So there will be improvements, like everything, it's always changing. But yeah, you just click right in the timeline. It tells you, you just click on it and it loads the listing for you. Apparently my internet at home is very slow.
So this may be one to be able to engage with more than Viewpoint.
Hopefully that's the goal. We just need to convert them to want to use our app instead of Viewpoints.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's much more interactive, especially like, I'm sure Viewpoints app probably tells them what they're looking at, but most of the time they're not using a Viewpoint agent. So if they're using you and they can use your app and it's telling you what they're looking at, saving both of you time, they don't have to reiterate what they saw. You already know, right? Whereas if they're using Viewpoints, then they have to share it with you to tell you what they saw and what they want to see.
Right. Yeah. All right. Oh, cool. So you can do a default or a satellite map.
Yeah.
Huh.
And they can like draw circles. So you like obviously can zoom in and out of the map and move it around, but there's a draw button so they can draw a circle and just see listings in that circle. They can save searches, save properties. We just need the listings to work and then it will be ready to go.
A whole lot more interactive then.
Pardon me?
It'll be a whole lot more interactive then.
Yeah. But they did just hire someone to work specifically on this, so hopefully it'll be sooner than later.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Erin,
Yeah, there's not really much to show you guys. It's just going to take you some time to personalize it.
Erin, I have a question.
Yep.
I just was looking at the guide builder under buyer's guide, and then it says introduction. It's interesting. It says, congratulations on starting the process. And then it says, Paul will be providing insights on each step.
Yeah. So edit that.
Oh, okay.
Paul's your personal assistants now, Rebecca.
Perfect. He's
I don't
really
know why they used a specific name, because you have to make sure you go in and edit it.
okay.
I don't know why it doesn't say I will be providing.
Thank you.
But yeah, if you guys don't have any questions, that's really all there is to it. Now, I did mention to have your marketing profile complete before the training. I'll just show you guys where it is in case you don't have it complete. So in Command, if you click on your name in the top right and then click on Settings, then on the left-hand side, once it loads, you're going to click Connect Settings and then Marketing Profile. So make sure all of your information here is accurate, because this is what gets fed through to the app. And just make sure this toggle up here at the top that says use my information to brand my site is turned on, because then it'll pull the information through to the app.